Hello my dear students, welcome back in your online classes. I'm your English teacher and today we are going to discuss about making nouns plural part 2. Hope all of you have remembered that in our part 1 we have discussed about 2 or 3 rules of your nouns, that how to make nouns plural, where we have studied about your regular nouns and when your noun ends with s, ch, th, es, x like this. And we have also studied that if your noun ends with fe or f, then what kind of changes we have to do. And today we are going to read about the another rules. So please grab a pen and paper so that we can go ahead. Alright, so hope every one of you are ready. Today the rules which we are going to discuss, that is very important because due to these rules only sometimes students get confused. So first of all, please write it down students, that rule number 4 says that if your noun ends in vowel plus y, that is more important. Just before y, if your first alphabet, second last alphabet is your vowel. How many vowels are there? These are 5. And what are these? A, E, I, O, U. So if any of your noun ending with y but just before y the alphabet is any of your vowel a, e, I, o, u like this, then what you have to do, you simply add s at the end of the noun to make it plural. Because I believe most of you have heard that when there is a y, we simply have to remove y and we add ies. But in these kind of cases, when your noun ends with y and the second last letter alphabet is a, E, I, O, U, any vowel, then what we have to do? Yes, we have to add S at the end to make it plural. Here you can see it's one day, one key, one boy, one guy, one donkey. So if you can see carefully, the last alphabet is Y everywhere, but just before Y, the second last alphabet is A, E, O, U, E, and these are our vowel. So how you're going to change these nouns into plural? Yes, just by adding S. So let's see. Now you can see I have added here everywhere S at the end. So when you have added S after day, it becomes your 2 days. When you have added S at the end of key, it becomes 2 keys. Same way, 2 boys, 2 guys and 2 donkeys. So what we have not done here, students, we have not removed. We have not removed your Y. We have simply added S because the second last alphabet is vowel, not a consonant. Hope this rule is clear to everyone. So let's move forward for your rule number 5. And your rule number 5 says that if your noun ends in consonant plus Y, the same rule which we have discussed right now in rule number 4, Y is your last alphabet, but just before Y, in rule number 4 we have discussed that was your vowel. But now what we are going to read, that if just before Y, the alphabet which you have used, that is a consonant, not a vowel. Hope you can see here that it's one city. Just before Y, it's T and T is a consonant. Baby, Y, and just before Y, the alphabet is B and B is again consonant. So in these kind of cases, you are supposed to remove Y so that you can add IES. When your noun ends in consonant and the last alphabet is Y, in these cases, what you have to do? Simply remove Y and you have to add IES to make these nouns plural. Now by adding IES and by removing Y, your noun becomes plural like this. One city becomes 2 cities. One baby becomes 2 babies. One story becomes 2 stories. one party becomes two parties, and the same way one country becomes two countries. Hope these rules are clear to you, that when and how you have to add IES and when you have to add just S when there is a case of Y at the end of noun. This all is depending upon your last letter. When its last alphabet is Y, but just before Y, if it is a vowel, you will add S, and if it is a consonant, you will add IES by removing Y. Let's move forward for your rule number 6, students. Your rule number 6 says that if your noun ends in vowel plus O, it means that your second last alphabet has to be O and the last letter is also O. It means one vowel and one O at the end. For example, zoo, the last letter is O and the second last letter is your vowel. Radio, the last letter is O, just second last is your I and I is a vowel. Stereo, O is the last alphabet, but just before O it's E. E is again your vowel. Same way, if you can see video and kangaroo, last alphabet is O, but just before O these are the vowels. So in these kind of cases you have to add S to make these nouns plural. If you can see how we made them plural, just by adding S. Two zoos, two radios, two stereos, two videos, two kangaroos. This way it becomes your plural. So what we have done here, we have simply added S in case of when your last alphabet is O and just before O the second last is vowel. So let's move forward on your rule number 7. Your rule number 7 says if your noun ends in consonant plus O, it means your last alphabet has to be O, but just before O your second last alphabet is your consonant. It is the same kind of rule which we have discussed in rule number 4 and 5, the vowel and consonant plus Y. Same way, vowel, consonant plus O. So here, if your last letter is O and just before O the second last alphabet is your R, it means it's a consonant. When consonant is there, then we have to add ES. By adding ES, you can make these nouns plural. Hero, heroes, HEROES. Echoes, tomatoes, potatoes. These are the nouns which we made them plural by adding ES. You can see here, I have already underlined here that what you have done here, you have added, you have not removed anything. But still, students, you know very well that there are some exceptional cases always. Exceptional cases means where these kind of rules will not follow. For example, if you can see here carefully, piano, Piano, your last letter alphabet is O, but just before O, your second last alphabet is N, and N is a consonant. And in the case of consonants, we are supposed to add ES, right? But here, piano, photo, these are some exceptional cases where you will not add ES, you simply have to add S. These are the exceptional cases. Like this. In your exceptional cases, simply you are going to add S. There is no need to add ES. So, if I talk about the exceptional cases, students, you don't have to learn exceptional cases, because time by time, when you grow up, when you learn more and more, you will automatically learn these kind of exceptional cases. Let's move forward for your rule number 8. Rule number 8 is basically for irregular nouns. It means there is no need to add S, even no need to add ES. You simply add the whole word, whole noun. For example, you all have heard about man. But when we are talking about two or more than man, when we make MEN, we change the middle one letter. The same way, one child, but when there are more, we call it children. One foot becomes feet, tooth, teeth, mouse, mice, and the same way person becomes people. Hope it is clear to everyone that we are not supposed to add S or ES. We simply have to change the noun words. So these are also called your irregular nouns, and this is how we make them plural. And your next important rule is no change. It means there are these kind of nouns are also available which is already singular also and it's plural also. For to make them plural, there is no need to add, change, nothing you have to do. These are simply called the that kind of noun which can work as a singular also and that can work as a plural also. For example, sheep. When it's a single sheep, we call it sheep, but when there are many sheep, we are not going to call it sheeps. We will call them sheep. Deer, we call it deer, either for a one or for many. One fish, many fish. One series, many series. One species, many species. So these are some examples of those nouns where you need not to change any change. Before we end our video, I just wanted to tell you that not all nouns have the plural forms as we have just discussed above, and nouns that do not have a singular or plural form are called uncountable nouns. These kind of nouns are also available. Hope these videos are very beneficial for you. You have understood the chapter how to make nouns plural, and hope your all the doubts are already clear. If there is anything which you have not yet understood or there is any doubts, you can simply leave any of your queries, your comment, your problems in the comment box. I'll be always there for to help you. So take care, students. Be safe at your home.